Welcome to another vlog. I was trying to do my hair, put like a top bun, but it looked crazy. And then I was like thinking about the 80s side ponytail. Do we feel like we should bring it back? It's giving ponytail that needs to take a shit. You know when the tail goes like that's what it looks like it's doing. However, we're talking about why your relationship will not survive your PhD. The PhD relationship is similar to the lifestyle in the military, not in the sense that they're the same thing at all. It requires a lot of resilience. First of all, happy Valentine's. Are we loving ourselves, other people, our community? I really hope so, because Valentine's Day is not just about coupling up. The most important relationship is the one with yourself. Oh my gosh, my hair is just crazy. I'm sorry, I couldn't deal with the hairs. It's really challenging to be with someone who is pursuing a PhD. In the past, I had been trying to date. There was one instance where I actually met up with another PhD student. It was a lot of back and forth of like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm working on my thesis right now. I'm going to a conference. Eventually, it just faded out. There was another situation, also in a very, very, very busy position. Last time we hadn't heard it from each other in a month. I'm not saying it's going to be like that. Like, people should respect each other and their time in investing. Dating a PhD student is like having to keep relighting a candle that keeps flickering out. It's like this one. Smells good. Then when it's long distance, that's a death sentence. Unless somebody would like to prove me wrong. Bring me truffle pizza while you're at it, please. Did you know there's an academic singles app? I didn't sign up because I couldn't be bothered. I mean, academic singles app, it's like, oh yeah, great. Of course I want to sit down with someone who's equally traumatized by academia and will just give me their abstract, their conference paper, ask if I'm nervous about my viva. No. No, 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 no. That reminds me about the other video that I did with my friend Katrina, where somebody asked her out doing a conference abstract. That was creative, but it didn't hit. Okay, Xanthe, shut up and get to the reasons. First reason why your relationship will fail. You will change. I never get it when people are like, never change. Okay, so you don't want me to grow? I wonder if going through a PhD is like considered a form of trauma. While you go through your PhD, you're going to be evolving as a person, changing the way you think. The people you hang out with are going to influence who you are. The person that you are at the start of the PhD is not going to be the same person that wears that cap at the graduation. Hopefully you'll be better. A little bitter and exhausted, still better. Will your partner change along with you? I don't mean that in the sense of like you're going to live together, because there can be situations where people stay together for what, more than 3 decades? They end up divorcing because you changed. You were together, but you didn't evolve together. It doesn't guarantee that you guys will be compatible in the end. I'm very sorry about that. I feel very sad about saying this, actually. I'm delivering bad news. I feel like I need to say something positive. The good thing is, as long as you communicate and respect each other, it's going to be challenging, but be on the same metaphorical soil and getting fed equally. Y'all are different kind of plants. 2, you're dating your PhD and your partner is your side piece. Ooh. Remember that honeymoon phase when you're texting all the time, sending photos, hanging out? Goodbye to that, because now that's the relationship with the PhD. RIP for years up until you graduate. But if you are the PhD student, you really need to put yourself in their shoes. It's like it can't be one-sided. Yes, there are certain things you can't change. That doesn't mean that you should not work something out. You know, they miss you, they love you, they want your time and energy. They're jealous of your thesis. You get to spend time with the thesis and not them. Who Is she texting this late at night? Why is she on her phone? She's probably seeing someone else. Then you look on the phone. Methodologies on rabbit welfare, behavior, and housing. Do you love me or do you love Google Scholar? Which leads us into the next reason, resentment. If you're not dealing with these issues, it's going to build and build and build. When PhD students do have free time, it's to eat and sleep, which we barely do any of anyway. It becomes this unhealthy cycle. Just people being unhappy, emotionally, physically, spiritually. That's what the PhD does. It's a vampire. Our brains will get overstimulated and we don't have the energy to call or text back. And so many people take that personally. Okay, I understand it goes both ways. But if you know somebody's in a PhD and you sent them a message that's like, oh my God, look at this cute cat video, and they didn't respond, have a little understanding. Every moment that a PhD student has to take away from their research or work, they are wasting it on a reply to you. Energy and time is the most valuable thing. If you love your partner, you're going to have to understand that they can't respond within the hour. Scheduling will save you. Talk every day at 6 before we go to bed. Wait, nobody goes to bed at 6. Call me in the morning. Let's talk every Saturday. Some people don't really want to talk to their partner that often. So it's like, I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'll see you in a month. It's more rare though. That's for like very specific personalities where they're like, I'm fine with not seeing you. And I'm also fine with not seeing you. And it's not anything toxic. It just works for them. Just communicate what you need. People don't want to be talked out of their feelings. They want to be seen, heard, and understood. So keep that in mind when you're feeling a bit insecure. You gotta be vulnerable and open about what you need. Also, do not be like, they are just so busy with their PhD. You know what? I'll let it go. And then all of a sudden that becomes one night, and then becomes a year, and then it becomes 2 years, and then you start to feel like you hate this relationship. It's hard to be honest with yourself and each other, but it can be done. The last reason, you don't need to be dating at all. Honey, why are you on these dating apps? When you're emotionally unavailable, you need to get a therapist, unpack your trauma, and learn how to be alone. Most of the people I meet on dating apps have no business being on there. Getting over someone and trying to distract themselves and end up hurting the people that they're dating. I personally find it so irresponsible to go out with people and not understand what your baggage is. And this goes beyond just like PhD student dating. If you know you're too busy with a PhD and you're going to continuously annoy people with how not communicative you are, you're just like trying to use people. It's like, don't do that. Learn to be with your feelings. And it's like you're not alone, you know. I understand that people get lonely, like we all do, especially during the PhD. We get that. But you have community. You have friends. Be lonely but responsible. Really evaluate if you have the space to let someone in. I didn't want to be all doom and gloom, so I did look up the one reason to a successful relationship. This was by Dr. John Gottman and Dr. Julie Schwartz Gottman. These psychologists studied over 40,000 couples. The number one relationship hack is turning toward. We call these bids for connection. Bids can mean anything from like trying to catch your partner's attention, like calling the name or asking for needs to be met. This is an example. Your partner is scrolling through their phone and says, oh my gosh, this is an interesting article. That's a bid for connection. And you can respond in one of three ways. One, turning toward, acknowledge them and say, oh yeah, like what's it about? Two, you turn away, actively ignoring them, keep working on your thesis. And three is turning against. You snap. Can't you see I'm trying to work? Like OMG. They're saying that like you need to always turn toward. If you're busy, you can't stop. If you want to actually listen, right? You want to be attentive. You could just, oh, I would love to hear about it. Can you give me like 5 minutes? turn toward. I did want to identify something that could be a little neurotypical. It says if you shut down and you're like, oh my God, can't you see I'm trying to work? So with some neurodivergent people, if we get interrupted, it will make us so upset because you would get into such a zone where you're like, I'm in flow state. And then if somebody just like interrupts, it like ruins. If your partner has specific needs, you should respect that. But also that requires communication on the partner. It's triggering. So you need to communicate, hey, I'm going to start working. So if you could just leave me be, just text me if you need anything because it'll be on mute and I'll get to it unless it's an emergency. You can't be like, oh my God, we're on fire, but he's in flow state. That's everything for this Valentine's weekend. I hope you found it helpful. It might have been a bit harsh, but I tried my best to have some positivity in there. People give a bad rap to Valentine's Day, but I like it. I know it's very like capitalist. It's also just like a nice opportunity to celebrate love. And again, as I mentioned, this doesn't mean that it has to be romantic. Oh, my friend texted me. Actually, I'm reading it because my text is like this, because my phone's like this. And she actually texted me about Galentine's. See? Oh my gosh. She knew I was talking about love that wasn't romantic. It can be platonic. It can be with besties. Proof right there. You can't see my message, but it's right there. Godspeed to those who are dating PhD students. But it's worth it. If you guys really care about each other, it's a beautiful journey. Thank you for being my Valentine. People who subscribe are high key my loved ones. Thank you so much for being here. I really send love, hugs, and legal drugs. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's week. Find a way to pamper yourself, especially if you're in academia. Please, please take a break. Learn to love yourself tonight. Oh, that sounded kind of frisky. I meant like in general, not like, anyway, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Thank you. And see you at the next video. Okay, love you. Bye. Mwah.